sound that the llaneros recognize immediately. Do not confuse it with wind. Do not confuse it with any bird. Do not confuse it with anything that belongs to this world, because that sound does not belong in this world. It is a long, thin, cold as ice crystal that enters through the ear and descends to the chest. Always comes from above, from where the treetops touch and form. That dark roof, that at night but it seems the bottom of something very deep. And when you hear it, it's close. That's the first thing you need to know about the sound deceives when it seems distant. It is a few steps away when it seems to be on top of you. Maybe there is still time to run. Perhaps he is not a ghost in the sense one imagines when he says that word. He is not a translucent shadow that floats, is not a face behind a window. It's not something that scares and disappears. His presence, his weight, his height. Is that moment when the mountain changes its temperature for no apparent reason, and the animals stop making noise all at the same time, as if something had ordered them to keep quiet. Say it is high, enormously high. So high that when he walks among the vegetation of the plain, its head is lost among the highest branches. 6 men say some, more say others, because there are things that fear does not measure well. Walks hunched over with that weight on his shoulder. A sack, a dark old sack, spent by time and on the eternal path that never ends. A jacket that moves with an opaque, dry sound, like when something hard hits something hard inside a thick fabric. Bones. The bag is full of bones, and it carries them everywhere. Night after night, year after year, decade after decade, century after century, because the does not age, does not rest, does not stop more than necessary, cannot, the dog will not let him. Behind the always goes the Tarico, a dog that some call spirit, and others call it an animal-shaped curse, that some say to have seen as a dark silhouette that brushes the ground without lifting dust, and others say they have never seen it, but they have always felt it. The constant panting, that presence that pushes the forward when he wants to stop. The Tarico does not bark, he does not grunt, he just chases, always pursues, without getting tired, without being distracted, without ever losing track of it. Is the perfect for those who cannot die, but also cannot live. A guardian who makes sure there is never rest, that the road does not end, that the punishment does not let up, not a single instant in the course of eternity. When the slows down the pace the Tarico approaches, and the walks again. Always forward, always among the trees, always whistling that does not wander aimlessly. Has its habits, their rituals, their favorite prey. The first is the drunks, men leaving the canteens when it is too late, and the dirt road is alone, and the stars are the only thing that illuminates those who walk alone staggering, believing that the major danger is a root in the ground or a hole they did not see. The approach is without being noticed, because when it wants to, it does not make noise and sucks their navel, extracts the brandy they are carrying, as if that liquor belonged to you, as if drunks were yours in some way. That no one finishes explaining, but that on the plains everyone understands. That's why old people always say, don't go out alone at night when you've been drinking. It's not just health advice, it's a survival warning. And then the houses are very slow, with real silences between phrases. There are nights when the do's not pass by. There are nights when something stops him in front of a door, in front of a closed window, in front of a family who sleeps inside without knowing that outside on the threshold, something is settling in, that leaves the bag on the floor, and starts to remove the bones, one, puts them in front of him, tells them with a voice with a rhythm that is not exactly music, but it is not noise either. Something in between, something that travels through the walls, that creeps through the cracks in the doors, that reaches the ears of those who sleep. Or should it arrive? Because here is the rule, the only rule that matters when is at your door. If you listen to it, it's okay, you stay awake, you stay still. You hear that bone count that can last for minutes, or it can last for hours without the weather working normally while he is there. And when it ends, picks up everything, loads the sack again, and continues on its way. But if you don't listen to it, if sleep has you too deep, if bones count and no ears in that house, receives them at dawn, there is dead. No visible wounds, no signs to explain anything. Just someone who did not wake up. And a family that cries, without some neighbors who look at each other with that look that says, all without saying anything, the past last night is his mark, his name. Its seal and has its own rules, just like the bone count. When he is heard far away, in the distance, among the trees, distant as if coming from the other side of the world, he's very close. Perhaps a few steps away, looking at you from a height that your eyes cannot reach, when he is heard nearby, as if it were right over your head. There are those who say that in that case, you can still run. There are those who say that in this case, it no longer matters if you run. Versions do not agree on this point. What do coincide, all versions without exception, is as follows. Don't try to identify him. Don't stay. Looking up among the trees, looking for the figure. Don't forget, don't answer the with another. There's an invitation that should not be accepted, that belongs to the plain, to that extension, interminable, the sheet and palm tree and river that covers the Venezuelan states and the fishing departments of the Orinoquia, to that geography where the horizon is so wide that the sky seems bigger than anywhere else. Of the day planet, the plain is warmth and work and life. At night, the plain is a completely different place. At night, shadows do not have light edges. The wind is not always explained. Sounds come from directions that don't make sense. And things that during the day would be normal trees, at night can be silhouettes that move.